Hi, it's Darnell at Whale Recipes, and today I'm going to be cooking up some frozen bison burgers in the Chefman Air Fryer Oven, and we'll see how it performs cooking up some bison burgers from frozen. So let's get cooking right now. Alright, so here are the bison burgers. Picked these up at my local Sam's Club, and I was just kind of perusing the frozen aisle and saw frozen bison burgers. Like, that's interesting. So picked up a box, and so going to get some of them out here. Apparently they come in this sealed package here. Alright, so got 3 frozen bison burgers out. They're very hard frozen, and for these I'm going to be using some extra light olive oil because it's got a high smoke point, and I'm going to be broiling these, so I want to use a oil that, Lord willing, won't cause too much smoke. And I've got some Grill Mates Montreal steak seasoning, so use that to give them some extra flavor. I think that'll help them taste real nice. So just going to oil these up on both sides, just spreading some oil across the top of them, and that oil will help my seasonings to stick on a bit since they're hard frozen. So just going to get this other side done here. Now that they're oiled up, I'll put a generous amount of seasoning on both sides of the patties. Just going to press on my seasonings a little bit, try and get them to stick in there, and just flip them over on here, and then I'll just from here basically season the top side of them. Let's see, you can kind of arrange them like this, or kind of arrange them like that. Have one in the front, have kind of 2 in the back like that. That should be fine. Just season these up. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and put these on into the cooker. I've got the rack on the high rack level there. I'm going to set this air fry basket up there, and going to take this bake pan, put it on the rack underneath to catch the drippings like that. And so now that I've got things all in, going to wake the cooker up and going to hit broil, and I'm going to use the low broil setting. So low is 400, high is 450. And then for time, I'm going to up the time to, let's try 18 minutes, maybe 9 minutes per side is what I'm thinking. Going to try that. So I'm going to hit start with that, and I'll bring you on back like maybe halfway through and try and give them a flip. Now, I'm not going to use a meat probe to measure temp. I'm just going to basically kind of eyeball things. Why? Just because I want to just see how it goes, trying to just eyeball things this time around. No particular other reason. But going to let them go for about 9 minutes, then try and give them a flip, and I'll bring you back then. Alright, so 9 minutes have passed now, so I'm going to open up the door auto pause. It's going to get in there and flip things on over. So been no smoke issues at all in this so far in this cook. We'll get this bottom tray out, try and catch some of those drippings there that are coming out. Things have been pretty cool, and they're browned over on the top pretty decent, so good time to flip and get this other side and see how things turn out. Alright, so I'm going to close one up, let those go for another 9 minutes, and then I'll bring you on back and we'll see what we have. Alright, we got about 10 seconds left. I'm going to throw myself some mayo on my bread here. This is homemade bread. Nothing in this video is sponsored, but things seem to be possibly done. So got my Thermopen, going to check the temp now that everything's done to see if everything did cook fully. And you see that there. We're up to we need to get to 160, so we're coming in low. Now the ones in the back are at 140. Yeah, the ones in the back are hotter than the one in the front. So we're getting there, but we're not there. So I'm going to basically flip and spin at this point. But we obviously need a good bit more, or a little bit more than 18 minutes. Now on broil, this cooker gives you about 20 minutes to get your broiling done, and that's what you get for broil because it's a pretty hot type of cooker, but it's going to need some more time. So we'll see how much more than 18 we need. I guess we'll try like maybe another 6 minutes on this side, and with another 6 minutes that'll be like 24 total. So we're going to stay on our broil. We're going to keep it low, and the reason I'm doing a low broil is because it's bison, and bison has a lot of protein. It's a high protein meat like chicken, so don't want to hit it too hard and you know, overcook it too much. So we'll do it 6 more minutes using that broiler some more, and you know, spun things around, and using the low broiler I guess it takes a little bit more time, but we'll see if, you know, maybe 24 minutes is good. Then I guess you could do 12, and then, you know, reset it back to another 12 after you flip things over and spin or whatever. But we'll see how this is done when this time runs out. Alright, we're coming to the final seconds of what will now be a 24-minute broil. And so let's check things out now. Things are getting pretty seared looking on that meat. Yeah, we're a little hotter than, you know, 160. With bison you want to get the 160. This one's not the 160. That's unfortunate. Let me try and get my thermopin a little clean before. Yeah, that one in the back is like in the 180. So things definitely cooking hotter in the back than in the front. And so I'm going to take the two that are done and put them on my bread, and that one that didn't finish, I'm just going to close it up in there and just basically let that leftover heat play around with that, and I'm pretty sure that'll be taken care of with the remaining heat. But you see the ones that did finish, so I mean, you're talking like, you know, somewhere between 22 to 26 minutes maybe. You'll have to, you know, play around with the times to get it right. But, you know, some are cooking faster than others. They all came from the same pack, all from the same freezer, all the same size, but all cooked a little differently as far as time. So that's pretty interesting. So now I got myself some pepper jack cheese. So I'm just going to put a couple slices of my pepper jack over there. And on top I'm going to use the ketchup mustard relish combination. So just sticking some of that on here to dress my burger up like a good burger should be dressed up. And we'll get a little of the relish. The relish, the opening on this relish is a little wide, so I try to be careful not to have too much relish spew in one shot like that. So there we go. Alright. So we'll put the lid on there. I toasted this bread over in my Cuisinart air fryer microwave while this was cooking. But now I'm going to go ahead and give this a slice diagonal right through the burger there, so you get to see inside. Show you the inside of those burger patties. There they are. So now let's do a taste test. So here's our completed burger. So let's do a taste and thank God for this burger. So it turned out pretty good. I think that, you know, since they were cooked a little more, or well over 160, they weren't super moist, but at the same time they weren't like totally dry. But, you know, could have stopped them closer to 160 and they probably would have been a bit more moist. I'm sure the one that I left in there will be probably a little more moist than these, but all the same, you're coming from frozen, trying to get fully cooked and kind of, you know, feeling out the right times. You know, and as you saw, some of them are more done than others. So you got to come at it somewhere between 22 and somewhere up to, you know, maybe 20, maybe the other one needs another couple minutes, you know, or another minute or two. But you also, you know, you could try and rely on carryover, but that may not really get you, you know, from like 155 all the way up to 160 for a thin meat like a burger patty. But all the same, you can, you know, kind of try and feel out what works best for you. But with bison, you do want to get to 160. That's, you know, with standard, there's one temperature for cooking bison, and it's 160. You don't play the rare, medium rare stuff with bison. You play that with beef, not bison. But anyway, you can find in the video description a link to a printable version of this. You can also find ways to help this channel, like the cookbook and other things. And also you can check out my blog, superwaveovenrecipes.com. Lots of recipes and stuff there. And so with all of that said, if you did like this video, please do give it a thumbs up. Share the video with a friend. Leave your comments, subscribe, hit that notification icon, and good eating.